What is up, my friend? Welcome to episode number 113 of the Anthony John Amick podcast. And recently, somebody backed into our car while we were at church. And, as life always does, it has kind of presented a lesson that I really want to share with you today. So if you're at a place where you're looking for some inspiration to really help take your life and business from good to great, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Anthony John Amick podcast, the one and only podcast designed to help you become unstoppable in life and business. My name is Anthony John Amick. My friends call me AJ, and my goal with this podcast is to help you remember who you truly are so you can maintain your center in the chaos, embody your potential, and unlock freedom in your life and business. That being said, let's get into today's show.
All right, welcome back. Now, before we get into today's Sunday sermon, I want to let you know about my book called Mindset is Not Enough. Many entrepreneurs, they're always looking for an edge in their marketing, an edge in their sales, an edge for embodying their potential. And a lot of people will tell you if you get your mindset on point, then you're going to be successful. Now, if that was true, wouldn't everyone who's ever read a personal development book, wouldn't they be quote unquote successful by now? If that was true, wouldn't everyone who's used affirmations or some other powerful reframing techniques, wouldn't they be successful by now? I'm sure you probably know at least 3 people who have read a book or recited some type of affirmations that have shaped their mindset and their outlook on life, and they still don't have the results they want. So there has to be more to the game than mindset. Well, after guiding hundreds and hundreds of people to creating results in their own lives, I found there is something I call your body set that will always overpower any mindset work you do. And I dive deep into this concept in my book called Mindset is Not Enough, and you can get the entire book for free by going to ajamick.com/book. And I've had one guy tell me that the book was so profound in shaping his life that he listened to the book on repeat every single day for a year. So go to ajamick.com/book to get the entire book for free right now. So with that being said, let's dive into today's Sunday sermon, the importance of living a life of excellence. About a few weeks ago, my daughter and I, we joined our neighbors at a new church, and I decided this year that I really wanted to find us a church home. It's just been a really, really long time since I've had a church home. And to be real with you, for many years, I was not even called to go find a church home or even go to church for many, many years. But this year, I felt really called to find a church home, and, I just kind of like listening to that small, gentle voice inside. And it seems like when I do, life tends to work out better for me. So when we went to this new church, I'm sitting inside with my daughter. We're waiting for service to get started, and this guy comes into the building, and he's like, "Hey, who drives a blue Volvo?" And so Molly, my neighbor, she looks over at me, and she's like, "You drive a Volvo, right?" And then her husband, Thomas, he looks at her, and he's like, "Yeah, but it's not blue." And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, yeah, I drive a Volvo, but it's charcoal. It's nowhere close to blue. So there's no way these people are looking for me. So I just kind of let it go. Yet deep down inside, I had this feeling that, well, maybe they were talking about me. And I was thinking well, maybe I parked in the wrong spot or something. I don't know. So when church let out, when I walk through the doors, I can see my car, and I can immediately see there's a yellow piece of paper underneath the windshield wiper on the passenger side of my car. And immediately I start thinking to myself, I'm like, man, did I get a ticket? I guess I did park in the wrong spot. And to be clear, this church that we went to, it was kind of in startup mode. They were having service at one of the elementary schools, and each Sunday they transformed the entire cafeteria and the entire gym into a church with children's classes. It's really impressive, really. And so that's why I thought, well, maybe I had parked in the wrong spot. So anyway, I walk up to my car, and it's not a ticket. It's a note. Someone had backed into my car, and they were nice enough to leave me a note. So I walk around the car, and sure enough, they had completely sideswiped the rear quarter panel of the passenger side of my car, and it had been snowing that day, and so our car was pretty wet from the melted snow because, just snow doesn't really stick much in Argyle, Texas, And 90% of the scratches, when I touched them, they just washed off. And it was just pretty much, the other car's paint on the surface of the car. But the other 10% left that were there they were scratches. They were scratches on my car. Now, I wasn't upset or anything like that. I mean, stuff happens. People bump into your car. It's going to happen. It's why we all pay for insurance. So I wasn't upset at all. I was just it happens, And I was and it was really cool of this dude to leave me a note. So I was it's okay. So I drive home, and I am considering not even calling my insurance company because it's mostly scratches that were on kind of the rim above the tire well of the recorder panel. And I thought, well, that guy was nice enough to leave a note. I really don't want his insurance rates to go up. It's not that big a deal. It's just some small scratches. But after sleeping on it, I asked myself a question. I said, does Anthony John Amix drive a scratched car? And the immediate answer was, no way. Anthony John Amix is committed to excellence. And a person who's committed to excellence does not drive a scratched car. So that day I called the guy. He didn't answer, so I texted the guy, and he had already made a claim with his insurance company, and with 7 days, it was all taken care of. His insurance company, which was Progressive, by the way, they were amazing. They got me a rental car. They got me in touch with the local body shop. Boom, easy peasy, no stress, no drama. Now, this was kind of a big deal for me, and maybe it's going to be a big deal for you when I break down this lesson. See, the nice guy in me was like, let it ride. It's not that big of a deal. But then there's another part of me who's committed to excellence. And the one thing I've learned in my brief 35 years of life so far is that the quality of your life is directly correlated to the quality of your standards. Now, this goes for the cars you drive, the house you live in, the type of marriage you have, the business you run, the team you lead. Everything you experience in life for a sustained amount of time is based on the standards that you hold for yourself. Back in 2010, I read a book by Tony Robbins called Awaken the Giant Within. It was a very powerful book for me. And because back in 2010, I pretty much lost everything except my health. And that book really helped me pick myself up off the floor, literally, and rebuild my life. And in that book, I remember him saying something like, if you want a better life, you must have better standards. The old me would have driven a scratch car. It's been it's just a few scratches. The new me only tolerates excellence and does not drive a scratch car. The new me takes his car into a body shop and gets it back like new. And not only do I expect myself to operate with excellence, but I also hold those around me to that degree as well. And I guarantee you, when you raise the standards that you hold yourself to, your entire world will level up. You see, because your reality is based on the standards that you hold for yourself. Now, this may be a hard pill for you to swallow. Now, it may not be. Yet my invitation to you this day is this. Where in your life, where in your business is it time to up the standards that you hold for yourself? Is it time to up the standards you have for the cars you drive? Is it time to up the standards in your body? Is it time to up the standards you have for your marriage and how you relate with other people? Is it time for you to up the standards you have for your business and the way that your team interacts and works together? And how may, by possibly raising your standards, how may it actually allow you to raise the standard of life that you get to experience on a day-by-day basis? You see, life will always match the standards you hold for yourself. So don't sell yourself short, because you are worthy of all of the goodness you can stand. Well, my friend, that's all I have for this episode of the Anthony John Amix podcast. If you know someone who needs to hear this episode, send it over to them in their DM, screenshot it and share it on social media, send it to them in an email, text message, whatever you have to do to get this episode into their ear holes. And also keep those 5-star reviews coming over on iTunes, because that is what helps get this show found by more people, and it helps other people break through to a new level of freedom, purpose, and success as well. So thank you so much for being here. Until next time, my friend, I'm out. Peace.
Well, that's all I've got for this episode of the Anthony John Amix podcast, but we have plenty more to help you become unstoppable in life and business. So head on over to ajamix.com for exclusive resources, information, and tools to help you break through to a new level of freedom, purpose, and success. I look forward to having you back for the next episode. Bye for now.